Hello and welcome to Mutiny Motorsport Season 8. We're at round 7 here down in South Africa. Oh, we got 4.5 kilometers. Pytr here won last season in the old formation back in 1960. So looking forward to seeing what he can do today. Let's have a look at the championship standings. Pytr is dominant. He has won the championship all on his own. And Shattered Compass now is in the battle for second with TTR, who is appearing now in round 7 after missing 2 rounds. We've got Ferrari here off on the lead. Williams trying to fight back, but it's very unlikely. Jaguar, Jordan, Toyota, Sauber, and the rest all behind. It's all pretty close in the midfield. Out in qualifying, though, we see Pytr taking another dominant lead, 6 tenths ahead, and the Williams of TTR can't beat Shattered Compass off into that qualifying session. Nate Delta there up in 4th, Dan Gilligan in 5th, making his return, and Orange in 6th. And here we go off the line. What a start then from TTR, going right past Pytr. It looks like he's into first place. Pytr making his move. That's Dan Gilligan there, up 5th place. It is damp today. Looks like Shattered Compass there, fallen back from 2nd place. TTR goes wide and Pytr goes off into the lead. Dan Gilligan 3rd behind him. Look at the spray on the track. There are still some big puddles here, but people tempted to go straight onto the dry tires because it's just not wet enough for the for the wet. Dan Gilligan here around the outside on TTR up into 2nd place. What a move from the Jaguar driver. They are in desperate need of some really good points if they want to make any challenge here on the front runners. Back here with Leclerc in 11th place, trying to find his way forwards. Looking at the group in front. Arsmoon, off there, not quite getting it on, not quite getting it stopped in the damp conditions. So braking at the top of the hill. It's the left hand of the car, gets very light up here. Aim down the hill as we can see Mumbo Man fighting in the championship with Broadchen, who isn't here in the other Jaguar today, so needs to get in the points, needs to make some ground up if he wants to make up some room in the championship, or position in the championship. Broadchen will be returning for the last round in Donington. Miltech here, small downshifts coming in. Oh, that looks like there was some crash going on there. Was it Orange sideways in the Williams? It was hard to tell. Definitely someone in the last corner there. Oh, LT just getting caught out by the giant puddle that seemed to be on the last corner there. Let's have a look at Arsmoon. He's coming up. He's seeing people in front of him. The slow around that corner. He's got a lot of speed, remember. He's been up in the point scoring positions. Maybe not had the consistency to stay there all season, or had bad luck. What a stupid doobie. Just a couple of tenths behind Orange there. Orange looking to redeem himself after the replacement in the Williams garage. Scored as many points in one race, I think, as Orange has scored all season. So Orange feeling the pressure right now. Back here, NDF in 12th place. Just starting to fall back from the group a little bit. 1.9 seconds back. Must have been involved to that spin in the last corner in the puddle. Arsmoon 8th place. Half a second behind. Fast left-handed, bit of a spray there, so it's still a bit damp. Down into the braking zone. Oh, is that Nate going sideways? It is Nate sideways. Lost 3 positions in one corner. Nate, oh no! And Stupid Ubi has been knocked. I think there was a slight bit of contact. Can he get out of the gravel there? Oh, it looks like he can. Oh, Nate there getting caught out. Caustic here. 10th place. There's only points down to 6, so he's got to make up a few if he wants to score something. Stupid Doobie slipped all the way down into last place. Oh, that is devastating. He was running in 5th. Orange inheriting that place. This is great for the Williams driver, not so great for the Benetton team. Look at that corner. Looks like Leclerc going slightly wide, just trying to keep it on the track. Some of these curbs can be pretty damning. They don't look so bad, but if you get caught on the wrong side of them, it can tend to unsettle the car very easily. And look at this. Pytr running away. Lap 3, 5 seconds ahead. It looks like TTR there is behind Dan. Can he make the place up? Can he challenge Pytr? Pytr with 5 wins this season. TTR with only the 1. Down the hill. Avoid the puddle. He's got Viltek in front of him. Viltek, a very quick member of the Mutiny. What an overtaking maneuver that was. Incredible. As we come into the final stretch, final corner. Look at the size of that puddle. Wide line. All the drivers are having to learn to take it there. Viltek going to be disappointed that he lost that place. Caustic now up into 9th. Still lots of puddles on the track here. Rumor mill spinning that this is going to be a one-stop race. Tires seem to be holding. That's Viltek. Oh! I mean, LT had such a massive moment there. And they're side by side. Oh no, they're not. LT Caustic has got back in front and held on after that huge oversteering moment. And the left-hander going to drop down. Another left-hander steeply down the hill. Got to be light on the throttle. Don't want to spin it. Look at the size of that puddle. Avoid the puddle. Up the hill. Full beans. Try and break at the top of this hill here. And on board with Leclerc. Stupid Doobie made up no ground so far. Dropped back 30 seconds from Pytr after that move. He was up in 5th, remember. See if he can gain some of that pace back. 1.2 seconds behind though of Leclerc. Leclerc here with NDF in his sights. The 2 Minardi boys. Duking it out. Side by side as they come into the last complex. What a move from Leclerc there. That was a fast way around that very awkward, clumsy corner as the camber kind of pulls you off into the other direction that you don't want to be in. What a move. NDF down into 12th. Leclerc up into 11th. NDF just starting to lose a bit of pace here. Feeling demotivated maybe by that Leclerc move. You've got to put your head down, focus forward. Nick Delta here in 6th, still right on the tail of Orange here. Williams don't seem to be making any progress really on the front runners. I would think Dan Gilligan had a phenomenal season so far with the Mutiny. Holding his own up in 2nd place there, and here we are on board with that battle. TTR hunting him down. It looks like Shattered Compass is there just waiting in the wings. See if he can make any moves. And here we go, Stupid Doobie on NDF. Beautiful move at the top of the hill. Fast left-hander. See if he can open up a gap now. Is so wide, but there really is only one line through there. You've got the quick right-hander here. Don't get too wide out once you get onto that AstroTurf right on the edge there. Car loses all sorts of traction, and there is a nasty bump there. Looks like we're on board. I think Nate Delta has got him past Orange there. We didn't see the move happen. TTR there. Still hunting down Dan Gilligan. Gap opening up a little bit though. Orange. Let's see what Orange has got in response to losing that position. 7 tenths behind. As he comes up to the top of the hill. Pick your braking mark. Slow the car down. Don't let it get squirrely. Don't put down too much throttle and spin the rear wheels because you need all the speed you can get to come down this hill. Every kilometer counts. TTR is coming up on the back of Dan. Has been behind him this whole race so far, 7 laps, and Pytr has pulled out such a dramatic lead in that first stint. And start finish straight as we start lap 7 for these guys. Here he goes. What's TTR going to do here? Is he going to go inside? Oh, he thinks about it. Just shows his nose there. Has he got past? No, he's just putting Dan under some pressure. Up the inside he goes. Side by side. No, can't get through. Shattered Compass waiting here with bated breath for there to be a crash between these two to make it another Ferrari 1-2. pressure is piling on Dan here. Tires are lasting if you can get them to last, but you cannot risk a lockup. And with all these puddles and all these wet moments, and with all these wet bits on the track, you can just start to lose a bit of traction. That will not help you if you're looking at keeping it clean and not locking up. You don't want to be getting sideways there. You're going to lose a few kilometers by the end of the straight. Pytr really piling on the pressure now, just 2/10 behind. So into the final complex now. Fast right-hander. Pytr really piling it on. Nose to tail. Avoid the puddle. Apply the throttle. Here we go. Arse Moon now. Right on the tail of Mumbo Man here. He's made his way up. Remember, Mumbo Man is in a fight here with Broadchen. He needs every point he can get. Arse Moon looking seriously quick down the main straight. And up into 7th place. Let's see if he can hold it into the braking zone. Keeps the wide line. Yeah, and in the background in the mirrors there we can see Mumbo Man having to concede that position. Arse Moon not yet up into the points though. Don't forget, he's got to find Orange and overtake Orange. Orange just 2 seconds ahead though. Orange still holding on. Dropping back 5 seconds it looks like from Nate Delta. Oh no, Mumbo Man has another moment. Drops down. Oh, from 7th to 10th. That is not what you need. Pytr on lap 8, 17 seconds ahead of these two. I feel like Dan must be nursing some sort of tyre woes here to be, because the lap time is 4 seconds slower. I feel like Dan is a cork in the bottle right now. And that's it. I see Pytr's name going ahead there. We don't see it on screen, but it's happened. That was in the last complex, the last time we saw them. There we go. Struggling and already lost a 1.5 seconds since he's been overtaken. Definitely nursing something there. Nate Delta in the pits. So that looks like it could be an issue. And Mumbo Man in the pits as well. I wonder if they went soft battling with those tyres. I wonder if they've just given themselves a dirty lockup. You need to get a fresh set of boots. It'd be worth putting in a whole bunch of fuel, seeing how far you can go into this race now. Dropping down the field. It's quite a lengthy pit stop here. The pit lane is quite short, and the entrance and exits are quite short, but this track is quite fast, so you lose a lot of time. There might be some damage here. That looks like a longer pit stop. So everyone's shifted up a couple of places. Mumbo Man looks like he's leaving the pits. Nate still in the pits. So if there's damage there, that'll be for that. Pytr started lap 10 now, 19 seconds ahead of TTR. Who's dropped a second but hasn't caught up back to Pytr's pace yet. Maybe needs a bit of time. 20 seconds versus 22 for TTR. Who else is in that kind of range? No one in the field. A lot of 123s though. Dan Gilligan 124. Still managing to hold up Shattered Place and stay in that podium position right now. This is a great result by lap 10. Monty Corsic here. 8th place. He's spying up Viltec. Down into turn 1. Just, you've got to look where the drivers are braking. See how the back of the car is behaving in front of you at the exit of the corner. See if they're getting wheel spin anywhere, losing some traction out of the corners. Stoopy Dooby into the pits. Nate Delta is still in the pits as well. I'm suspecting a retirement now. That is way too long. And Mumbo Man as well. Last lap 209, so that was a long, extra long stop. Here we go, Arse Moon. Looking at into the points now. And 6th place, following Orange here. Orange just half a second ahead. I do know the Williams driver hasn't had much time to wasn't really attending the practices, and there Asmoon goes up the inside. Shattered Compass enter the pits just ahead, so Asmoon here would move up into 4th place as Shattered Pits. There's an early stop lap 10. That's in 2-stop territory. I wonder if there was some damage or flat spot, or just went really hard on the soft tires. Damaged them too much. So lap 11. We're almost a third into this race here. Pytr leading by 20 seconds, pulled out another second from TTR. There was 19 seconds, just hovering around 19-20 seconds at the moment. Dan Gilligan has fallen 10 seconds behind TTR, so that he was the cork in the bottle. I think that must have been nursing some tyre issues though. Asmoon in 4th, Orange in 5th, Viltec in 6th. Those are your points positions, but we have had some pit stops already. Shattered Compass rejoining in 8th place. Or 50 seconds behind the leader, so lost 30 seconds in the pits there. Leclerc here 9th place, just behind Shattered Compass. If Shattered's done anything in that pit stop, he would have filled up with a bit of fuel, so Leclerc might be a little bit lighter than him. Have warm tyres, this track with the damp surface. As we see Ulti thinking about a move around the outside of Viltec as Dan Gilligan is pitting now. He's definitely in the 2-stop strategy, in the 2-stop territories here. See him glide over the puddle, straight over the top of it. Dan Gilligan moves down. Is he going to exit pits ahead of Shattered Compass or behind? Let's see who's the better strategy here. Still up on the jacks, he's behind. Lost too much time on the outlap there, and yet we can see in the background there Nate Delta glitching into the ground. That is the retirement we were expecting. Pytr leading from TTR, Asmoon, Orange, Viltec in 5th, LT Caustic in 6th position. As we see it go up into 5th. What a great move. If you get caught on the outside at top of that corner there, the track just kind of falls away from you a little bit. It's hard to keep the car on the track. You have to really slow down and try and not run onto the grass. You will lose a lot of time, but it was great of Viltec there to just keep the car on the road. He can get his head down again, look forward, regain some composure, try and get that position back. As we see Orange here now, right on the back of Asmoon, so found some comfort in the lap now. Maybe the car's coming to him as the car gets a little bit lighter. LT is in the pits. So remember, he was battling with Viltec for 5th and 6th. Shattered Compass up into 7th. Now up into 6th because of that pit stop. Remember, he's ahead of Dan Gilligan, so he's really looking to get back into that 3rd spot that he's now claimed. As you see Orange Boys starting to harass Asmoon again. Half a second in it. His car's coming alive to him. Asmoon seemingly struggle. It was not about 8 tenths between them on the last lap. It's looking like a great performance from the both of them right here. As we see up front, Pytr pull out yet another second. So TTR not enjoying the set of tyres. It looks like about a second slower a lap than Pytr. Pytr just being unbelievably dominant this season. Already won the championship. And still pumping in the lap times. Risking everything every lap as we see Orange get right on the tail there. Fast right-hander. Look at that exit. Looking for a way past. That puddle is really off-putting. It is a great overtaking spot here in the dry. But in the wet, you don't want to risk sending one up the inside. Orange looking to get out of the slipstream there a little bit. Staying on the left-hand side. I wonder if he's trying to cool down his tyres maybe. Just a fraction. Stay out of the dirty air. That does come with not getting inside the slipstream, not gaining those few extra kilometers an hour. That would really help. Q1 is a great overtaking spot. But again, just 3 tenths now between them. Slow the car down, rotate it, get on the gas nice and early. tricky little left-hander down the hill. Don't over-rotate the car. We got the puddle on the exit as we come up the hill. On the apex, sorry. Up the hill. Just lost a bit of time there. Just a few tenths. Being a little bit cautious. Orange seemingly taking the tighter line there, straightening up the car, aiming towards the exit there. Here we go, LT down into 9th spot after that pit stop. Dan Gilligan in 8th ahead. Really struggling on this set of tyres. Oh, and they're side by side and they touch. He almost had him at the top of the hill. Dan seemingly fighting some gremlins. Running in second place right at the beginning of this race. Now down in 8th after his pit stop. And there he is. Oh, side by side. I think that was LT going, sideways into the grass with the contact there. Will there be a steward's inquiry about that one? They were side by side. I don't think he forced them off, but it was definitely contact as we see Leclerc enter the pits now. So Dan has lost 9 seconds in the battles that he's been having. Remember, he was just ahead of Shattered Compass earlier on this race after TTR overtook him. And here we are with Orange. Starting to drop back a little bit more now. Was about 3 tenths at his best, just behind Arsmoon. Now 1.5 seconds. I wonder if running in the dirty air that close has caused him some tyre issues. As we see the leaders on lap 15 pumping in the times. This looks like the first lap that TTR was quicker than Pytr. So the gap hovering around 21 seconds here. So Stupidoobie with Leclerc takes the inside line. Beautiful move right up on top of the curb. That was a brave move there. He didn't need that much space. Moved up into 9th as we saw Viltec now looking at the back of the Williams. Viltec does have, I believe, I will double check. I think Viltec has a penalty from the last race, but I am just about to check. As Pytr goes into the pits, lap 15. Lap 15, so it looks like TTR will inherit the leads. Gap's coming down. So you see Viltec still looking at the back of the Williams here. It is a battle here for the 3rd place. As you see Pytr exit the pits. Wow, that is demoralizing for TTAR. Just 2 seconds behind the Williams driver. That was how big his lead was. After his pit stop, he can still see 1st place. Just a couple of seconds in it and he would have exited in 1st. So he won't get to lead all the laps as we see Arsmoon and Orange both enter the pits here. It's a battle of the mechanics as Orange chooses to go through instead of around. Williams boys, refill. This looks like a one-stop strategy here, lap 16. There we go, Arsmoon still out ahead. So they would have filled up to the end, I reckon. Put on some hard tyres maybe. See if they can get their car right towards the end. They both exit the pits, but it's very close still. You see Dan move up into 5th place. Just behind Shattered Compass. 9 seconds now the gap. 9 seconds is still the gap between them. So running very similar. Shattered just 2 tenths ahead this time. TTR on the lighter fuel load here. Just gaining 1/2 second this lap. But it looks like Orange is right on the back of Arsmoon here. Can he use any tricks and skills to get past this guy? half distance. Oh no, in orange. Just going wide there, losing all the momentum that he had. He's lost about a second in that moment. Pytr's still hanging around here, not quite warm enough to dry them off instantly. About halfway here. Got Pytr leading, 4 seconds now ahead of Pytr. I mean, that's just really the light fuel load. I think Pytr's got lots of pace in his car still. Pytr from Viltech, from Shattered Compass, Dan Gilligan and Arsmoon. Orange fighting for a points-paying position here. Frank Williams really looking at the contracts. Pressure is on him as we watch Stupadoobie and Leclerc fighting down for 9th position. Right up behind him, just a 10th and a half, 2 tenths through the fastest corner on the circuit. Braking harder for one of the slowest. Keeping this close to the car in front during some of these corners is very tricky as they go side by side up the hill. Will he take the inside line? No! But I think there was a small lock up there from Leclerc. It just seems to be holding on to it just now. So I can confirm from Spa, race 6, Viltech was given a 10-second penalty for this race. So Viltech here is 8 seconds ahead of Shattered Compass right now. As we watch Orange now suddenly under pressure from LT Caustic. Looking at the back of that Williams, sniffing how close it is to the points paying position of 6th. And there we go, he's gone past Orange down to 8th. Oh, the Williams driver not having the greatest day today as we're on board with Leclerc. LT Caustic seems to have got really far ahead of Orange. I wonder if Orange had an off moment there. As we see Viltech pit, lap 19. TTR has not pitted yet. 20 laps on this set of tyres is going some. Trying to do a long first stint. There's only 4.5 seconds though still ahead. The worn out tyres versus the light fuel load are not putting a big enough gap to Pytr. Viltech should be pitted once he leaves. Should be fueled right to the end. 14 laps remaining. Let's have a look here. TTR leading. Still needs to pit from Pytr. Shattered Compass. Looks like a nice gap for TTR to slot in there. Dan Gilligan starting to lose more time. It was 9 seconds. It is now about, I'd say 14 seconds-ish. As TTR pits on lap 20. He's going to slot into 2nd place unless anything goes wrong. We've got Dan in 4th, Arsmoon in 5th, LT in 6th, Viltech in 7th with a 10-second penalty hanging over him. Orange in 8th place. Leclerc in 9th, Stupadoobie in 10th, MDF in 11th. And I think we've got the retirees of Mumbo Man and Nate Delta in 12th and 13th. On board here with LT, looking at Arsmoon. What was their last lap time? Very similar, just 200ths in it between them. Oh, as Arsmoon goes wide. But LT Caustic, unbelievable. Sees the opportunity and lets the back of the car step out on him. That is not the way to go. That is a missed opportunity as the rear of the car goes again. I wonder if he's overheated those tyres. Orange there, 134. There was definitely a moment in that last lap. Back up to the 122s, so that is a pretty quick lap time right now. Under average for right now as we see him heading around turn 1 up towards turn 2. Leclerc here. How many seconds? 5 seconds to the car in front. Orange boy, how many seconds? 1.8, 1.9 seconds up to Viltec. So he's definitely, at the moment, in a net 7th place. Viltec there in a net 8th place. As we see, TTR slotted in 17 seconds. So that 4-second gap he had really helped him. He has gained time. Remember when TTR first got out from Dan Gilligan way back early in the race, he was about 19 seconds, 20 seconds behind the leader. So made up 3 seconds from that long first stint. Both got light cars. This Orange boy off into the gravel. Viltec had a small moment there, and Orange could not capitalize on it. Too late on the brakes there. And yet more time lost to the cars ahead. Oh, and I think he's letting someone through. That might even be Pytr. Lapping him there. That seems about the right time. It's a 120 lap. And Orange boy is about 120 behind. So similar pace now, although between LT Caustic, just about half a second faster than Arsmoon. But after that moment earlier, having lost a bit of time, has to make that gap back up now. And Orange, after that, having to let Pytr by as a 126. So a lot of time being lost there from being lapped. Race settling down, 12 laps remaining. At the moment, TTR will probably be matched on points or pretty close with Shattered Compass, if you remember right at the beginning with the points difference between them. He's going to get 6 points there for second place. Sorry, 8 points there for second place, I believe. And it was 6 points for second place. My apologies. 10 points to the leader. That's how Peter's been getting so far ahead. 5 wins in a second place. This looking likely to be a 6th. Unbelievable performance. The times being matched as LT goes wide again. So actually TTR and Pytr pretty similar in this stint. It's just TTR getting stuck behind Dan Gilligan. That beautiful move around the outside there that Dan pulled early in the race on lap 1 or 2. Not being able to get past is TTR's own fault as we see someone going wide up ahead. Who was that? On board with Arsmoon now. And that only 2.89 seconds ahead is Dan Gilligan. So 4th place looking likely here. Dan pulling in a great lap, about half a second faster that last lap, so you can see him. Moon up ahead, 5th place, coming around here, brake, release the brake, let the car coast around and find the throttle as early as you can. Head down, shuffle down in your seat a little bit, brake, never, just maybe let off the throttle around this fast corner, brake hard for this corner, turn it in, rotate the car as fast as you can, ride the curb just a little bit, don't get too wide, down the hill. Avoid the puddle, foot flat, don't take too much out of the tyres though, you still got 10 laps to go, brake at the top of the hill, rotate the car, that is Dan getting closer, 1.3 seconds now, Arsmoon flying here, the closest battle we have on track is for 4th place, Dan Gilligan, Arsmoon and LT, all hovering around, waiting for a mistake from the driver in front. Looks like the top 3 are fairly settled though. Shattered Compass settled nicely into that 3rd position. The early pit stop really having cost him. As LT goes into the pits, He's going to drop back here. He's going to lose about 20 seconds. He's going to come out. I'd say somewhere about orange. Maybe a little bit after orange. So everyone skips up a spot. He'll take up into 6th. Remember, he's got his 10-second penalty. In 6th position then, if we take that into account. Orange in the points from that. To watch Asmoon here. Keep that 2.5 gap to Dan Gilligan. Dan back on the pace a little bit. We can see his last lap of 23.3 versus 21.7. So yeah, we'd have a moment or two. It's about 100 km/h corner there. Try stay on the inside. You can run a little bit wide, but don't touch the far exit curbs of those two right-handers. Avoid the puddle. Just go straight through it. So maybe it's drying up a little bit more than it looks. On the throttle, we can see 240, 250, 260, 270, 280. Climbing still 290. 300 km/h. Braking in that Toyota for T1. Left-hander drift up the hill now in T2. T3 is the short left-hander. T4 around the top. Looking good this lap. Jaguar holding on. These are some good points positions here. If he wants to beat his teammate. I think there's a bit of a points gap between them. He's got to try. That's off. Go straight through the puddle. You can hear the engine spiking its revs there as it goes through the puddle. Brake at the top of the hill. Nice and smoothly. Great looking line coming down the hill now. LT came out in 8th position. So now where's the battle? The battle is really between these two. It looks like Viltek's dropped off quite a lot. So Dan versus Asmoon, but it's opened up to 2 seconds now. Asmoon not having a response in the latter stages of this race to really mount a challenge towards Dan there. Gap up front staying around 16-17 seconds between TTR and Pytr. Pytr putting in a 19.4. That is a pretty swift lap. Orange here to give you some reference. Middle of the pack, 7th position though, and will inherit 6th from that Viltek 10-second penalty, doing a 22.6. So leaders are absolutely on a different planet right now. A second faster than the rest of the pack. Rest of the pack in the 20s, 21s, 22s. Varied pace right now, so we could see some overtaking right towards the end as both fatigue start to settle in. If you've given your car a little too many beans, worn the tires down a little too much, or if you're feeling the groove. And Shattered Compass looks like he's in the pits again, so couldn't quite make it to the end. You remember he had that early stop. He probably went as far as he could. So Orange here eyeing up Viltek. He doesn't want to just get those points by default. He wants to earn that position. So it looks like Shattered Compass is made out of the pits. Still 2 seconds in front of Dan Gilligan. So it might be a race to the line for those two. It's Orange right tucked up. He's got a great opportunity here. Got to keep his momentum. Stays on the inside a little bit. Nice line. Exit out of the corner, still about 3/10. He's in the slipstream, still 3/10 though, not gained a lot. And into the braking zone, actually falling behind a little bit. Laid on the power there. I wonder if he's got some understeer in that car. Yeah, it looks like he's struggling to get the car rotated through some of those corners. But the front's starting to wear away. The front left, if I remember rightly here, does wear. It's this long corner here, the long right-hander. second there, so really struggled with that understeer. So on board watching Orange Boy. He is in 7th place, but Viltech has a 10-second penalty and not far behind. Actually, you see TTR there lapping his teammate. Oh, that wasn't the smartest place to do it there, TTR. I'm not sure that's how you wanted to do it to your teammate. He is trying to hunt down Pytr. He has lost a few seconds though. It was 16, 17 seconds. Now to 19 seconds. Maybe the motivation's starting to fade there. 5/10 on the last lap behind Pytr. As we see Arsmoon in 5th place. Still behind Dan. Still within that like 2-second window. What happened there? I think that was a disconnection. That is absolutely distressing. Arsmoon in 5th place. We can see him there just locked in position. And here we are, Orange and Viltech. I think that means they're going to pass Arsmoon if he's still locked in position there. Where did he go? Yeah, that's him. I think he's out of the race. That is so upsetting. Oh, if that Toyota didn't have bad luck, it would have no luck at all. As now Viltech gets into 5th place, but still 10 seconds behind him. We now have Orange Boy and LT. So Viltech looking like he could drop a couple of places there with that 10-second penalty looming over him from Spa. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. 5th place would be a lovely result with 2 points. Orange here, right on the tail still. 2/10 now. Can he make a move into turn 1? 1/10, 1.5. Not feeling brave. Brakes early. Rolls around the corner instead. He's got to be wary. Just 3.5 seconds behind him is another driver looking at scoring some points. As we go through Pytr, 20 seconds ahead of TTR there. Lap 31 for Pytr, lap 30 for the rest of us. Shattered compass there, another 40 seconds or so, 50 seconds behind TTR. Dan Gilligan couldn't make up that position, that 4-second gap. It's now extended a little bit after the pit stops, the shattered second pit stop. Viltech in 5th here, but with a 10-second penalty. Drop him down to 7th place. Orange in inherited 5th place. LT in 6th place. Driving though. Orange really finding his form now in the latter stages of the race. Lapping in the 22s. That's a good race pace. Faster than almost everyone else out on track apart from the LT Caustic there. Wow, TTR with a 1:18.5. That's a quick lap. 3 laps remaining. I feel like that's just a vanity lap though. 2.5 faster than Pytr, but unless Pytr has an off or comes into contact with the back markers, I think it's just all for show there. Maybe trying to grab the fastest lap just for the record books. Orange is not seeming to make his way past. This is a tricky track. If you don't have the straight line speed down the main straight, it's difficult. You have to send a lunge if you're carrying a little bit of downforce to protect the tyres, which looks like Orange is doing. This is turning out to be a great scrap though. Viltech doing everything right here. As we see Dan in the pits with 3 laps remaining. I wonder what happened there. Whether he was just going to run out of fuel. I don't think that is Dan in the pits actually. Our source is telling us oh no, it was Dan in the pits. He went from just 5 or 6 seconds behind Shattered Compass to about 30. Oh, Orange there, still not willing to just let off the brakes and coast up onto the inside of position there. He has the pace. You feel he's being held back. If he's able to hold on this close, I hope he'd have some confidence. Maybe towards the last couple of laps he might do it. Holding on around the outside with that dirty air. There is definitely more pace in that Williams there. Look at him all over the back there of Viltec. Viltec still not putting a foot wrong. That's all you need. Just hold on, make your car as wide as possible. Great defensive driving. 4/10 coming down the hill. Oh, I love that camera angle. And look who's in the background, just slowly making up time. A second, 1.3 seconds faster than the last lap. LT Caustic. This battle, every time you battle with a car in front, it always slows you down. Always, you're losing a little bit of time. And Orange hustling. Nose to tail. He's got the pressure from behind. And TTR coming in the pits. Our source is telling us that was misfueled from the Williams boys there. With 14 laps to go, they only put 13 laps in. That is well, that could have been a drastic error. Thankfully, coming out of the pits, he had such a large gap back to Shattered Compass there with his two-stopping strategy that he was just able to get away with that one. As we see here, Stupidoobie Leclerc. Oh, not quite able. Battles here still towards the last. We're in the last lap. Peter's finishing. Peter's on his last lap. Oh, they're sending it here around the outside. Now this time you know where the driver in front is slower. You know where they're faster. Look at that defending from Leclerc right in the middle of the track. Not the ideal line, but makes it so difficult to pick a line. Do you want to go outside, inside? Track's too narrow one way, not enough the other. The guy goes slightly wide around the fast right-hander, and that's it. Stupidoobie looks like he's through, but he's not. Leclerc holds it around the inside. What a move to hold that position as the race is over, I think. Oh, Orange. Looks like he's going to inherit that position. That was a great battle all the way towards the end. Picking up some debris, making sure the car's just in the way. And here we are. Stupidoobie lost a bit of time here. 7/10. Don't know if he's going to claw that back. Where did the cameraman go? Viltec celebrating 5th place, but it's actually going to be 7th. Oh. I see Orange parking up there. I don't think Stupidoobie's going to make it. What an intense battle we had there from everyone. Peter storming off again. But may have been a different story had TTR managed to hold onto that position as the Williams boys find each other. So there we go. Peter in first place, TTR in second place, 18.5. We saw that lap. What a fast lap from TTR there. Shattered Compass third, Dan fourth, Orange fifth, Viltec sixth, LT also with the 10-second penalty. Unbelievable. So 7th place, Leclerc 8th, Stupidoobie. What a position in the driver standings. Pytr, Shattered Compass, TTR, Mr. Mouse, Broadchen. Here we go. Arsmoon, 6th place there. Dan Gilligan, 7th. Orange in 8th. Nate in 9th. Really close there. Ludwig in 10th. Leclerc, Stupidoobie. And then we have Ferrari, 94.6 wins. Unbelievable. Williams in 30 with 37. I think they've locked in 2nd place. Jaguar and Jordan could swap around. Toyota, Sauber, Minardi, Benetton, and Arrows, although just 4 points difference. Thank you so much for joining us today. That was race 7. Join us for the season finale in Donington. The weather report is going to be wet for the beginning and foggy. Thank you very much.